What's going on, everybody? This is AJ Capasso here with host of Talking with the Source and Coventry Circle Paranormal. I'm here with my good friend
Robin from Haffern Paranormal and Talking with the Source.
There you go. I just want to thank all the people that are watching right now. We have some good
PPR.
news. Yes, PPR. What's going on? Professional Paranormal Research. Whoever, give all of them a shout. Give Paracrew Podcast. What's going on, guys? Love you guys. Head over to Paracrew Podcast. Head over to Professional Paranormal Research. Show them some love from us. We want to say hi to Paula. We want to say hi to Amanda Jane. Yes, he always Amanda Jane. He always calls me Amanda Jane because AJ when my name's Anthony, but he likes to make fun of me. So it's so funny that you're in here right now. We appreciate you. And your name just
and she's in the UK.
And she's in the UK. That's great. All the way from the UK. Awesome. Hey, Nando, how are you? So, guys, we have unfortunately, some bad news. Chris Conway, the medium for Most Haunted, had to reschedule with us. He had some things that got caught up today, and so we rescheduled them. We'll release the date in a few days, let you know when. We're going to get him immediately on. But he's a great guy. Can't wait to have him on. I want to say what's up to Stephen Woodard. Is that how you say Woodard?
Yeah.
And Paula Rodriguez, how are you? Thank you for laughing at me. Yes, no, please, Professional Paranormal Research, please go check them out. Show them some love. Also, the Paracrew Podcast, show them some love. But today we wanted to go live anyway, and we wanted to talk about something that is very dear to all of us paranormal researchers, as well as just people and in general. We want to talk about attachments, spiritual attachments. Recently, I just released a video where I took my PSP-7 outside. I was basically just testing my portal device that was given to me by one of our hosts, Steve-O, and decided to turn it on. And I actually had it on 200 milliseconds for the sweep, which I never have it on that slow. I normally always have it on 150 because of radio chatter and stuff. And if you see the video, you'll see the responses that I was getting was not radio. It was clear responses, which they were clear as day. And hey, not to stop for a sec, but Amanda Jane said AJN is a good name to have. See, I like it. And it's very nice to meet you guys all on Paralinks Plus. We want to give a shout out to Paralinks. Whoever doesn't know about Paralinks Plus, please go over there right now. Check out Paralinks Plus, Paralinks 1, 2, and I think, Steven, help me out. Is there a 3 or is there just 1, 2,
There's
and
3 and a 4 as well?
3 and 4? Okay, 3 and 4. I'm sorry, I'm not used to just getting used to the Paralinks.
And Paralinks is now twinned with Parapost as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say, and Parapost as well. But what I was getting to was, so I did this session, had it on a slow sweep, and I was getting some responses. And the weird part about the responses was, about a week and a half ago, I started to feel like, a little bit like crap, like I was telling you, Robin, like I was feeling, here we go. Thank you, Paracrew. Appreciate you guys. Paralinks 1, 2, 3 plus and live. But what I was saying to you was I was feeling like crap. I was just feeling like there was a weight on my shoulders, feeling like I was being weighed down. I would want to get up and go. My anxiety was high for a moment. And then all of a sudden I just want to be sleeping and stuff. And it was terrible. And I've never been drained on an investigation ever. And so to feel this didn't register in my mind, like, oh, it could be a spirit. But then 2 nights ago, when I did that session and I released the video, and it said about it said probation guide. And the crazy part about it is, I know there's Matt, baby, Matt. But the crazy part about it was I went to a probation building to pick up some paperwork, and as I was
What he's
walking
not
out of the
saying is that he's on probation for curb crawling.
here it is.
And he was caught curb crawling and dogging.
You know, I can't win with him. I can't win with him. You know, I don't like you. I can remove you from the stream anytime. That's what I love about
But you
Stream
wouldn't, because you like me. And if you did remove
you're
me, you'd only have me back again.
Yeah, you're right. And probably everyone will leave anyway because no one wants to just hear me.
You pervert.
You're such a weirdo. But anyway, as I'm leaving the building, ran out of coupons. You're such an idiot, Matt. I can't even finish the story, you guys. Shut up. All right. So anyway,
Nightmare.
I was walking out of the building, and I said to myself, I'm like, you know, I hope nothing follows me home from here. It's a very old building. It's like over 100 years old, I think, or something. I don't even know. But I just had that feeling. And when I came home, I did that session, and all of a sudden, through the box at 200 milliseconds sweeping, which, you know, I never do that slow, like I said. I got probation guide. Then I got something like from up above, or I'm a boss. I can't remember what it said. And then the last one I said, did you follow me home from the probation building? Now there's silence the entire time, not a radio coming out, nothing. All of a sudden a male voice comes through and goes, certainly. It's on the Coventry Circle Paranormal YouTube page if you guys want to check it out. And right after I did it, I was telling Robin, and I showed Robin, and Robin's like, dude, that's very clear. And as I was telling him about how I was feeling, you know, negative and feeling like kind of crap, what did you tell me to do the other night, Robin?
It wasn't actually me, it was Julie.
Okay, yeah, your wife. What did your wife tell me to do?
She told you to sage yourself.
Yeah, to go do a cleanse.
Sage yourself. Nothing else rude.
You're trying. You're trying
Keep it
to
clean.
say something. Yeah. Hey, that's you.
No, she told you to sage yourself because you had come back from the probation building roughly when this started happening to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you, like, the minute I did it, I hung up with them, and I went outside, I did a cleansing quick, used some sage, and I tell you what, I immediately felt back. I'm so ready to go back to Tombstone. Yeah, Paul, you have to pull it up with me. Tombstone, I heard, is an amazing place, and I would love to go there myself, Steven. So I hope you have a great time next time you go. That sounds awesome. But yeah, so, you know, we deal with this all the time as paranormal investigators or researchers. It's bound to happen once to you. I don't care how much protection you put on yourself, because I do protection nonstop before I go anywhere. And like I said, I've never been affected where I've been drained, but this thing definitely took a toll on me. And I tell you what, Robin, after last night, after I saged myself, after I did a cleansing, all this stuff, right? All night long, I'm seeing someone shadow walk by me, like as I'm laying in my bed. Then all of a sudden, I'm falling asleep, and I hear Anthony in a real deep man's voice, and it came from up the stairs. So I got up, and I'm like, yeah. I look up, dude. It's 2 a.m. Nobody's awake. Okay, and then not only that, I lay back down in my bed. 2 seconds later, my mind's so focused on this TV show that I was watching. I was watching Vikings, and all of a sudden, I felt like my uncle came down the stairs and was coming near my stuff, and he was like near this tool bench or whatever, and then he walked back upstairs, and I turned to look as he was turning around to walk away, and there was nobody there, and I was not scared or freaked out in that way, but I was like, wow, whatever happened with that cleanse that I did after what you guys told me to do, and after me using the stage as well and doing the cleansing, I think I pissed him off, number one. Number two, I don't think he was attached to me anymore because I've been feeling fine since. But I just did another cleanse in general. But have you ever had anything like this, Robin, for yourself as you go
out? Not really. Necessarily attached to me. You see, what I was going to say was that you do what I do and everybody else does. We protect ourselves when we go out for an investigation. But the thing is, you weren't going to the probation office for an investigation, so you had no need to protect yourself. So,
Exactly.
so what you'd actually done inadvertently was left yourself, excuse me, was left yourself wide open
Oh yeah.
for something like this to happen. And it
Yep.
just goes to show that I'm starting to think after this that every morning we as paranormal investigators get up out of bed.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
And do it.
protect ourselves for the day ahead every
Yep.
single morning. Because I'll admit, I don't. When I go on an investigation, I protect me and the mother-in-law and whoever else is there while we're in the car on the way there.
Yep.
And I only ask for protection while I'm there. So, so the thing is, thank you, Paula. The thing is, I'm starting to think that maybe we should. I mean, you're, your ordinary Tommy and Edward and Sheila and all that. They're just going to get up in the morning and go to work and do all the things they normally do, and nothing's going to happen. But because we know what it is, and with what we do, we're quite susceptible to it. So maybe we
Yeah.
need to start thinking along the lines of, you know, protecting ourselves every morning for the day ahead. If we do go somewhere that could be haunted, then maybe top it up. But just, I've never had anything like that. I've had things come to me. I've sat with my head down. I've told you before. I've done the astral. What do you
Yep.
call it?
Astral projection.
Yeah,
Astral projection. Yep.
I've done that. I've had spirits take me away, show me places years ago and stuff like that. I've had all that, but I've never actually had something that's lingering on me. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I can only imagine what it would feel like.
Well, I tell you what.
I must admit, the kid in me now is sitting here going, "Yeah, that'd be great," but
I
no.
tell you what. I tell you what, man. The last time I had it was last week. Last time I had it was last year, right before Halloween. And I was going to. We have old cemeteries where I live, like real old, like 1600s, 1700s that are like abandoned. Some of them. And I went to this one, and I had this attachment. I mean, I think it was right before I met you. And
Yeah, it was because
John
you were
was
telling me whenever we started talking.
Yeah, man, and I didn't protect myself like an idiot. And I tell you what, that was the lowest. I mean, when I'm talking depression, whatever this thing was, I mean, it would not stop. It was, I had to reach out on Facebook. I really was suicidal at one point. Like it was that bad. And I don't normally get too low. I mean, unless it's like real bad. Like ever since I started doing this work, I've been, I obviously I have ability. And you know what's funny about you saying that you should basically, we should protect ourselves in the morning is my medium that I work with. She said to me because I have abilities and because I'm an empath that I should be doing that. And when I was living with my mother at the time, she's a very neurotic type person. So I would feed off of her energy every time I'd walk out of my room. So I was actually doing that step. Now I don't know what your practice is for what you do to protect yourself, but one of the things that I do that my medium has helped me learn is to basically close my eyes, do like a little like 10-15 minute meditation where I am basically engulfing myself in a golden light or a white light or whatever color really you would like to do it as, and watch it extend out of your body, a certain amount of feet. And I tell you what, when I was doing that every morning, um, when I was doing that every morning, I was not I was not feeling any of my mom's energy. How do you really know when you're an empath? Well, to be honest, how I knew I was that I would just go out throughout the day and like out of nowhere I'd be picking up and just getting other people's emotions, like other people's energy. Where like if someone was mad, or I could be at a grocery store, someone could walk by and they could be depressed, and I would just out of nowhere just get depressed for no reason. Like it was the weirdest thing. And I mean, there's a lot of things you can look up online that'll help you. I had to move with my daughter. Amanda Jane says, I had to move with my daughter. We were going through an upset in the family. I felt uneasy in that house. Couldn't sleep, emotionally seeing black flashes. My daughter thought I was nuts. Listen, I don't believe that you were nuts at all, Amanda. I tell you what, with this attachment right here, right? Even though yours wasn't really an attachment, I don't believe, but it could have been. something could have been feeding off of, that being, an upset in your life. Because when we're emotional and we basically have like, depression or something along those lines, or something happens, the spirit, whether negative or positive, will feed off of that. And I noticed that a lot for myself. Now, does it happen with everybody? No.
Just to say, sorry, I did for cutting you off. Just to say, because
No,
Paul has put
no.
a question in, and then I want you to answer Stephen's because he's put one in as well. But Paul is one. How does she know for sure? Well, I'm the same as you, AJ. You know that, and the reason that I know, and the reason that I can sense that, and I can verify that, is because what I do, I'll be sitting or standing or be somewhere. It could be in the house, it could be out anywhere, and I'll see something. Now it could be. I'm trying to think of a way to explain this. It could be through my own eyes as normal, like something in front of me in the room, or it could be like say this was a picture, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's a football match ticket, but say this was a picture, right? So it's like someone going in front of your eyes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I have that all the time.
Yeah. So what'll happen with me is I'll see this. So it's normally a person rather than a situation that I see.
Yeah.
So I'll see a person and then I'll think, right, I'll sit in the room quietly with my eyes closed and I'll just completely clear my mind, which doesn't take long for me, but I completely clear my mind.
There's nothing there, that's why.
Yeah. And then I'll start inadvertently getting information through. You know what I mean? It could be names, it could be dates, it could be a year, it could be a color, it could be anything. And I try and remember everything that comes through. And then what I'll do at the end of it all is I'll go to Julie normally and I'll say to her, right, this is what I've got. And I'll say what I've seen. I'll describe the person that I've seen. I'll give her the information that's come through and she'll research it. And I mean, I've been absolutely bang on, even to the year. One time, a little girl came through and I got the year 1906 and that came through and that was it. When things like that.
But see, that's not actually, I mean, I don't believe that that's an empath ability. I believe that's a different ability. I believe you can have, I believe you have in my opinion, you have a lot of different abilities. Like, and same thing with me. Like, you have, auditory abilities. Clear audience, clear cognizance is like what I think it's like feel or something. And then you have like clairvoyance, which is obviously seeing. So there's a lot of different, different clairs that you can have. That's like a medium ability, like Paula just said. Yes, it is. And what Stephen said, first determine if you are emotionally depressed, oppressed, or possessed, and doesn't have to be a diabolical thing. And he's absolutely right. Before you just go around saying, "Oh, I'm an empath" or "I'm this and that," what I do is I would go up, research the signs of all the signs that can be an empath. But first, you always got to make sure that your mental health is in good standing and that you're not dealing with something emotional, because that can manifest itself in a way that can give you psychosis if you're sitting here thinking, "Oh my God, the devil's after me." Because I know a lot of people that thought that they had some evil entity in the house, and in reality, they were just literally having a mental breakdown. And they were seeing things and their mind was making things appear for them. And come to find out, some people that I know had schizophrenia. Some people I know just had mental illnesses. So that's a very good point, Steven, to bring that up.
And while you're
100%.
on that subject as well, can I just say to the people who are watching that I never had these abilities. And you know the story, AJ.
Yeah.
I never had these abilities until I started suffering with depression and anxiety. Now, I was off work for 11 months on the sick. With the doctor signed me off. They were throwing all these different kind of tablets at me. Take these. Wasn't working. And the only time when I felt anywhere near myself was every time I had a couple of beers. And I didn't want to be that person that was down and depressed and stuff for. Go ahead.
No, keep going, keep going. I was just.
I didn't want to be that person that developed an alcohol problem to feel good.
Absolutely.
Because it took me a couple of months, but I realized that I was drinking every day, and it was the only time that was making me feel anyway normal in my eyes. I mean, I was close to hitting rock bottom. I was nowhere near suicidal or nothing like that. I haven't got the balls to do that. I really haven't. But I was that.
No, I'm just. I had to.
But in all honesty, I was to me there. I was just in this tunnel, and I was going to spend the rest of my life in it. I was no way I was getting out of it, and the only thing that helped me was when the doctor. I've been to the doctor again, and I told him, says, "Look, none of these tablets are working. Put me on a really high dose. You know, I'm drinking a lot with tablets, which I shouldn't be doing, and stuff." And they put me forward for counselling, and I went in for the counselling. I took Julianne with me, and it was a young girl, quite a bit younger than me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm taking offence at it because I felt that it was someone a lot younger than me who had barely wet their feet in the working world after school, and it was like they're telling me how to live my life. You know, I mean, I'm a lot older than them. How can they tell me how to live my life? And I was really taking offense at it. Yeah. And I did.
We all do. I mean, we all do, especially if we need help, right? The first thing we're going to do is put up that defense. And one thing I want to say to all the viewers out there, if you are struggling with anything, whether it's depression, anxiety, anything, listen, I even go to a doctor myself, and I was ashamed, not ashamed, but I was like what Robin just said. I was very, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you have a problem that you need to deal with, do not be ashamed. Go get help. And I know that that's what Robin's getting at right now. Do not be ashamed. Do not get defensive. Go get the help because it's not something to be ashamed of.
Because I come home after the second lot of counselling, and I said to Julie, "I'm not coming back there." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I'm not coming back." I said, "What's the point of me coming back when someone's going to sit there a lot younger than me, telling me how to live my life?" And she was like, "Well, give it a couple more sessions and see how it is." And I said, "Right, fair enough, no problem." So what I did was I went back, did a third session, and I come out after the third session feeling a bit different. And I said to Julie, "I think I'm going to go and get another job." And she was like, "What?" I said, "I think I'm going to go and get another job." And she's like, you seem quite positive. And I said, "Yeah, I actually do feel a bit more positive." Inadvertently, it was actually, you know what I mean, getting. So it was like.
Sorry, Jan. If you're talking about Robin, he's actually not on Tinder, but he's actually married. So I apologize about that. But look, she said you're fit. So, I mean, you know, I don't know where she sees those.
She probably meant fat.
There we go. Now I get it. No, it's joking.
If you'd have seen the size of that pie I had.
Yeah, right. No, but no, you're absolutely right, Robin. You know, and like it's, you know, a lot of those abilities too can be mistaken for the same thing as well, like for mental health, just like mental health can be mistaken for that. And you know, one thing I can tell you, Paula, is to go online, research some of the things that are about empaths, and see if any of you know, the symptoms line up with what you have. But like I said, make sure that, you know, you have, you know, the mental health down. You make sure that nothing's going on where you're depressed or dealing with anything, and then go that route. But you know, I never had any spiritual abilities or feelings until I had someone conjure an 8 foot tall, 8 armed dark mass of the Lord of the Flies on me. Oh well, that doesn't sound cool. And had the clergy to exercise it. Geez, Stephen, that sounds very serious, very serious. Um, I tell you what, I had a friend that was dabbling in a couple things that he probably shouldn't have, and this is when we were younger, and I was not a believer at all. Like I was not a believer in the paranormal. I walked away from God, and I watched the planchette on a Ouija board move without my hands on it by me mocking it. And I had my first attachment ever was from that, and it was a dark, dark many years before I got rid of it. So I can't imagine what you went through. And Paula just said it's been, sorry not to interrupt you, Robin. It says it's been since I was a child, and it can be daily. You know, Paul, I mean, I'm not saying you don't have it. I mean, it sounds like you do, especially when you said before that when you go into cemeteries, you know, you sometimes will cry. I have a friend that does that, and she has abilities, and the emotions will affect her of the spirits there. So I do believe you may have, you know, definitely an ability, 100%. I
More
just
than
had to
likely.
throw out the mental health. More than likely you do, yeah. But you know, like I said, I'm not the one to be throwing out who has abilities and not, you know.
Yeah.
I bet the guy on the right is hung like a donkey. That shit just, oh my God. Oh my God. That just made my whole day. Thank you so much, Jen. That just made my whole day. Oh my God.
What I'm going
That's
to
funny.
say is, what I'm going to say to Paula is that after when I had that first experience after my depression, and I realized that it was like I took it that I've been rewarded for coming out the other side of it, and they rewarded me with the gift. But what I actually did was I waited quite a bit. I waited and waited and waited, and I just wanted to make sure that before I started my own team, you know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that everything was all right and that I definitely had it. So I would advise you to, you know, if you think you have it, give it a little bit, you know, try it out, try different things out, you know,
Yeah.
see what you're sensing, look up the information on it, see if you're right with the information.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, Paula, what I want to say too is one thing that you could do, like I was saying before, like my medium taught me a while ago was sorry, I just got thrown off by a comment that was in there for a sec. But what you can do is do what I do is you know, close your eyes, ground yourself, quiet your mind, picture a white or golden light emanating from the top of your head, coming into your chest, and then expanding the white light all around your entire body. And I do that. I was doing that every morning, like I said, and I tell you what, you feel a difference. You really, truly do. And you do it, and you see it in your mind's eye, this whole thing, and you can envision it and feel the warmth of it and of the white light and all that stuff. If you need to, please contact me afterwards, and I'll go more in depth with it. With you if you need me to. Um,
But if you do think you have it and you do like, you know, you test it out a bit more and you're getting the positive results, uh, I do advise that you try and document it because we always need, as paranormal investigators, we always need the information and the evidence and stuff like that we can all come together and show the evidence. So if you're
yeah.
getting the evidence, document it, whether you put it on Facebook, whether you start a YouTube channel, it's up
Well,
to yourself, but I would document your evidence.
well, that's why. See, everyone always asks me, why do you put so much stuff on Facebook, right? Why do you post so much stuff? And the reason why is because of that. Because I'm documenting stuff that has happened to me, and I'm not. I don't care if it's personal stuff. Like I'm documenting. This is for my personal use, and you know, so I don't feel ashamed to do it. Whereas people are like, well, you shouldn't put all this stuff online, and I'm like, no, I need to. Here, Tracy also just said. Tracy said. Also, visualize roots growing out from the bottom of your feet deep into the earth to ground yourself. That is an amazing one. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that.
Cheers,
And
Stephen.
yeah, I can imagine, Stephen. I can't even imagine going through what you went through, my friend. I'm just glad you're all right, dude, and you made it through it. That sounds so serious. Yeah, Paula says thank you, Tracy, as well. That really does help ground you. I mean, Tracy is very right on with that. And also, like I said, Paul, try that white light thing as well. And the same thing that Tracy said, also try that too. You know, and if you do that in the morning when you wake up, I'm telling you, you will feel a difference if you know, if you do have abilities and you're picking up on people. Because I'm telling you, it helped me. And I'm one person where even though I've been told multiple times that I have abilities, I always doubt it. Always doubt it, no matter what. Even with this whole experience, right, that I just had, I doubted it till the end, and then all the synchronicities as I was looking, because that's what I have to go by for me, is how many synchronicities line up, and that's when I'm like, okay, well, you know,
Yeah.
that's something, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, you will find that if you are empathic, or you have an ability like that, you will find that once you acknowledge it, it will start to grow with you.
Yeah, one of
It's
the
one of
things.
them ones. If you acknowledge it and decide that you're going to use it, and you try and tap into it more, it will grow with you.
But
If you
here's the
think to
thing.
yourself, well, I don't want this, I don't want, then
That's the
you're not going to
problem.
get much out of it. But
Well, no,
it
that's the thing,
can be
though.
quite rewarding.
It can be rewarding, but it can also be overwhelming. So that's why I don't advise people to
Here's
do it
Nightmare.
unless. What's up, Bry? Yeah, good
Yeah.
seeing you, Nightmare. Thank you for coming. I was just reading what Steven put. He said that's how he grounds, with the roots pushing and pushing with the energy. And I tell you what, it helps so much. But what I was going to say was is that I try not to tell people too much to hone their abilities, because in the beginning it can be very overwhelming for people. Like very
Yeah.
overwhelming. Like for me, it was very overwhelming. I mean, I got to the point where I was just so sick of feeling the way I was feeling that when I reached out to my thank you for having me. Well, you're quite welcome, Brian. Um, but it could be very overwhelming, is what I'm trying to get at. See, and then Paul, yes, your husband keeps telling me to open up. It's up to you. It's up to you if you want to allow it to open up and to do stuff. I mean, for me, one things that I did for my third eye to open is I'm open more and to really focus on it. I do meditations with binaural beats for third eye with different frequencies. I don't advise it for everybody because it can be very overwhelming, like I just said. But I'm already in this for the long haul, so I'm not too worried about it. And everything has been positive that I do with it. But there's people that do have not such great experiences once they start opening it up. So um, just be careful and just do the research, Paula. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Biggest thing is
And
the
what you're
research.
saying there, Paula, as well as on this comment,
Yeah, you
is
don't want to.
you are gonna see all different kind. I put it bluntly, you're gonna see all different kinds of shit. You really
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
But the thing is, you've got to you've got to the old saying, you got to take the rough with the smooth. More times than enough, it'll be just normal ghosts, or the spirits, you want to call them. But
yep.
you know, sometimes when you start dealing with like children's spirits and stuff like that, it can get a bit emotional sometimes. Or
Oh
maybe,
yeah.
well, I've came across the odd time where there's been a really old couple, and one of them's that well, obviously both of them are dead, but one of them has sort of left the other one in the spirit world to go somewhere else, and the one that I've picked up on is maybe walking around, like all upset, where or maybe they just haven't got to their other half yet, and they're looking for them, and it can be emotional. It
Oh,
can.
100%.
It's
100%.
one of them things that you've just got to think to yourself, what when I'm finished doing this, like if you're doing a session or whatever, then I'm back to my own world and back to my own life.
Yeah, no, you're right. And she said, if I'm willing to be a paranormal investigator, I need not to be afraid to face this. And yes, but it's okay to be afraid, okay? Because we all have moments where we're like, ooh, but you'll get to a point where you'll be like us, like, oh man, like I hear a noise, let's run at it instead of run away from it, or, certain things. But, it's great. It's honestly great.
Raymond.
Yeah, and Steven's right there. We got a girl, Terry Wilson. How do you ground, my friend? And Raymond was going to join us, but he just woke up when we decided just to randomly come on right now because of our guest. We had to, do it. Kelly, hey
Yo,
man, big hugs to both of my
Kelly.
favorite brothers. We're doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Hope you and Steve are doing good. Um, But yeah, so we just wanted to come on quick, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about attachments, and we appreciate all you guys that have been with us. We just wanted to do just something small today, since we had to obviously cancel, reschedule, I should say, not cancel, but reschedule Chris Conway to come on. We have a show Sunday, I believe it is, or Saturday. Sunday, right? I have it in my
Sunday.
notes. I can't look. Yeah, Sunday it is. Yep.
I've got it in the diary, but it's downstairs. I just want to say as well, AJ, while we're on, to everybody watching and everybody who's going to watch on different platforms, we have been asked certain questions. We've been asked, one thing we want to do that I'm going to amalgamate in with the questions is we're going to be going down to one show a week. We've been putting 2 shows sometimes a week on, but we've been asked, like, why not a certain day at a certain time and stuff like this. Yeah, we've got an attachment all right. It's Brian Laverty.
Listen, Brian, yeah, you got an attachment that has boobs and a vagina. You need to just stay away from all of it, all right? All of it.
But like I was saying, we can't be like a lot of other podcasts are, unfortunately, where they're on a set day, on a set time and stuff, because the guests that we're getting aren't always available on that time, and it also makes it a bit awkward with us being across the pond from each other because we're on different time zones as well. But
it's a little hard.
there is some big guests coming up. I've been working hard to try and get these people, and there is some really amazing guests that are going to be coming on here.
Yeah, well, don't give any away. Don't give any away.
No. I'm not giving any. I'm not going to say any more. We're gonna obviously reschedule Chris Conway from Most Haunted, but we're going to be. There's a subject that's quite close to me that I know, AJ, you're not really big on. But
no, I am. Go ahead.
UFOs.
Yeah, UFOs. If anyone out there loves UFOs, we have on a guest that's coming that is basically, if you know.
I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. But this guy is there's 3 generations of the same name. This guy that's coming on, his grandfather was the very first guy on the scene of the Roswell incident, 1947.
Wasn't he the one in the picture?
What?
He's the officer in the picture, holding up the material.
Yes, that holds the material up. He said that the material that came down was like a bit like aluminium foil, right? But what happened was, whenever he scrunched it all up, it folded out flat again.
No, yeah.
Not a crease. So that to me, they were going on about, weather balloons and this, that, and the other. We'll go into this in the show with the guy. This guy, I was so excited when he said yes. I really, really wanted this guy on.
Yeah.
But trust me, we're having a meeting behind the scenes, aren't we, AJ? I'm not giving any more away, Stephen.
Yeah, that's it. He's not giving no more away. But anyway,
we're going to have a meeting behind the scenes. We're going to sort out everything that way, and we're going to try and have it as close to the same time every week, but it's not going to be the same time. But you'll be notified anyway, and the guests will just keep getting better and better. And also, feel free to comment on the page.
Are you done?
Yeah, feel free to comment on the page. I missed your comment. Hold on. Well, AJ scheduled for work in the streets. It's hard to nail down. Brian, do you know what? Between working the streets, curb crawling, and dogging, you know what I mean? This guy now, he's a right tart. He really is. He's getting near the slag name. He really is. He's a proper tart. But anyway, we're going to get it sorted and we're going to have it where the guests keep coming. Yes, if you do have any guests in mind that you want us to have on, or any ones we've had previously that you want back on again, do let us know. Now,
Also, I
AJ,
want to say,
it's all yours, you tart.
Also, what I want to say to everybody out there too is, normally we keep it like a PG show. We try not to, like, swear or do certain things. I try not to, but I just wanted to apologize for today because there was some profanity that was said today and some jokes. I mean, we had a great time with a couple of the comments from the lady Jane. So it's not normally like that, but we don't, in this podcast, we want to be ourselves. We want to be who we are. So please feel free to interact with us. We're gonna have some guests come on sometimes. So please just interact with us. Do
You see,
whatever.
feel free to
If you need to
interact,
reach
and then
out,
Stephen does that. You know what I mean? I mean, how jealous am I right now? He
yeah,
lived 45 minutes from Roswell.
yeah. Well, you know what? I hope he takes pictures and rubs it in your face.
Do you know
Take
what?
pictures, rub it in his face.
Between Roswell and the Winchester Mystery House, I tell you, I would be camping outside both of those at weekend at one and weekend another.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been another episode of Talking with the Source. My name is AJ Capasso. I'm from Coventry Circle Paranormal.
Mine is Robin Huffern from. Sorry, hold on, Kelly.
Not reached out to me.
Lorelei Pop. Right, I'll have to have a look
We're
at
gonna
that.
have to, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to have
a look.
Steve-O. Steve-O, get on that.
Yeah, get on, Steve-O. Robin Huffern from Huffern Paranormal, talking with the source on Area 51.
Area 51. Guys, well, thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you all again.